Welcome to CBS This Morning. We're going to begin with this. We are still talking about this story, and rightfully so, because we're learning more and more about how close we came to even more violence when a mob whipped up by President Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol. As rioters attacked police officers with any object they could find, some lawmakers were evacuated with only seconds to spare. They barely escaped a mob that seemed hell-bent on causing mayhem.
The shocking new details are spurring on calls for the president to resign or be impeached or be forced from office by his own cabinet. We have a team of reporters covering all angles of this. We start with Nancy Cordes on Capitol Hill. Nancy, how is this being dealt with in the House?
Well, things are moving very quickly, Anthony. Last night, the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, announced that she would be bringing the entire House back tomorrow to vote on a resolution demanding that the vice president invoke the 25th Amendment and remove the president from office with 1 week left in his term. If that doesn't work, she says they're moving the next day to Plan B, impeachment.
And does it actually make sense?
Well, I like the 25th Amendment because it gets rid of him. He's out of office.
In her first interview since Wednesday's attack on the Capitol, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told 60 Minutes there are multiple avenues to hold President Trump accountable.
This president is guilty of inciting insurrection. He has to pay a price for that.
Nearly every House Democrat has now signed on to the 3-page impeachment resolution, accusing the president of inciting an insurrection.
We're going to the Capitol.
That means if it comes up for a vote this week, it is very likely to pass.
Donald Trump may be in the Twitter penalty box, but he still has access to the nuclear codes. That's a frightening prospect.
House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn suggested that if the article of impeachment passes, Speaker Pelosi could hold off on sending it to the Senate.
Let's give President-elect Biden the 100 days he needs to get this agenda off and running. And maybe we'll send the articles sometimes after that.
It's unclear if a second impeachment would be more successful in the Senate this time. But 2 Republicans are calling on the president to step down. Alaska's Lisa Murkowski and Pennsylvania's Pat Toomey.
Well, I think the best way for our country, Chuck, is for the president to resign and go away as soon as possible.
Many Republicans, eager to avoid a tough vote, insist impeaching President Trump will just fan the flames.
This is a heated political moment. We've got to be able to bring volume down.
Some of the strongest opposition comes from Republicans who led the charge to baselessly contest the election results.
I do not see how that unifies the country.
Those Republicans are now facing internal condemnation from some of their own GOP colleagues.
They did it either to save their own political skins or to make a quick fundraising buck.
And those lawmakers he talked about now face calls from hometown newspapers to resign as corporations from Marriott to Citibank hit pause on political giving to those who voted against certification of the election. And we expect that number of corporations to grow, Tony.
In time, voters will have their say as well. Nancy, thank you very much.